Wilton Manors considers the last Stonewall Pride over rising costs of police protection. Wilton Manors City Commissioner Chris Caputo issued a stark warning to the South Florida LGBTQ+ community today for the risk of losing mega events like this month's Stonewall Pride Parade and Festival and Halloween's Wicked Manners, all because it has become too expensive to provide police protection. With little notice and at the start of America's recognition of June's Pride Month, the organizers of Stonewall Pride were shocked with the police services and equipment bill presented just this week. Caputo says, quote, "The first Stonewall was a riot. The police costs for this year's event are enough to cause one too. The combined bill for police services and equipment has risen from about $50,000 last year to a shocking $92,000 this year. While WMEG, the nonprofit behind Stonewall Pride, was told to expect increased costs this year, neither they nor I expected to learn the bill increased by over 80% this past week," end quote. In an exclusive interview today with Queer News Tonight anchor Al Ferguson, Commissioner Caputo discussed the late notice for the police and security costs. He said, quote, "It's an epic failure on the city's part. It's unacceptable to receive this news just 3 weeks in advance. It's extortion," end quote. It should be noted that the city of Wilton Manors does not benefit from any of those fees as they go to the actual payroll and security costs. Jeff Sterling, the president for Stonewall Pride, echoed the dramatic news for the organization. He said, quote, "Stonewall Pride cannot afford nor is willing to go from around $40,000 to $90,000 for police officers. This is in addition to a large contingent of nearly 200 private security, medical carts, ambulance, physical safety structures, and fire watch, which adds an additional $100,000 of the costs to execute the festival. Compared to events like Miami Beach Pride, our costs exceed theirs, and they are a 2-day event. Our police costs are double what our sister event, Fort Lauderdale Pride, pays for 2 days," end quote. The growing problem for Wilton Manors and other communities may be in the decision-making disconnects that occur between city elected officials, city management, and divisions like the police department and their nonprofit event organizations. For Wilton Manors, the city manager, Leanne Henderson, reports to elected city commissioners, including Caputo. But departments like its police and police chief report to Henderson. As a result, there is no published police and cost plan for an event like Stonewall Pride. Caputo explains, quote, "There is no spreadsheet for a special events protection plan. I have asked for it, a spreadsheet to get the numbers they quote. It's so subjective," end quote. Caputo suggests this leads to the situation that Stonewall Pride faces at the last minute. Quote, "Everyone worries about their own jobs. Absent the city commission doing something, there is no clear plan. We need to pass an ordinance on how event decisions are made. The city commission is accountable. We should have fixed this," end quote. Commissioner Caputo is disappointed with how the news is delivered because the unexpected bill is also asked to be paid full and upfront. Caputo says, quote, "You are asking a nonprofit organization to pay upfront before a single gate fee is contributed? There is no way an organization can do that," end quote. The loss of an event like Wilton Manors Stonewall Pride could have significant effects on revenue for the city. A 2017 economic study by independent consultants determined the economic impact of Stonewall Pride was $4,157,000. Caputo suggests the economic impact is far greater. Adjusted for inflation and the growth of the event, an argument can easily be made that the economic impact is well over $6 million today, end quote. The continued growth of police and other expenses may spell an end to public service events like Stonewall Pride, unless realistic solutions are found. Caputo concludes, quote, "Frankly, there are very few options that will keep Stonewall Pride viable in the city of Wilton Manors for years to come. One option, which will almost certainly need to happen, is raising the entry donation from $5 to $10. A second option is for WMEG to file a lawsuit arguing that police charges are a violation of their First Amendment rights. Stonewall Pride, much like the original Stonewall riot, is a free speech gathering designated to protest bills like anti-gay legislation called Don't Say Gay. A third solution may be a political one," end quote. Caputo suggests in the interview with Queer News Tonight that there can be hope on the horizon. He says, quote, "I am optimistic there can be a solution. We must create a model for events like this and it be set in documents accessible to all. Then other events in our city and even other prides everywhere can see a model that works here in Wilton Manor, and it can work everywhere." Jeff Sterling, the president of nonprofit 501c3 Stonewall Pride, encourages everyone to attend this important Stonewall Pride Parade and Festival on June 18th. He says, quote, "We are going to do our best to provide a world-class Pride experience that will make our entire community proud," end quote. Happening Out Television Network and Queer News Tonight will be broadcasting the parade live on Roku and Apple Television. We will also be reporting on what happens next for our major LGBTQ plus events in the city of Wilton Manors. You can read Chris Caputo's complete online editorial online and on Stands Now in SFGN. For Queer News Tonight, I'm John Hayden.
LGBTQ plus news is vital for our community and for the broader world as a whole. We have enough enemies at Fox News. Tucker, Sean, and Laura are loud. We need passionate allies. Happening Out Television Network, Queer News Tonight, and It's Happening Out are literally out of the closet and into the headlines. Our community needs your support. Like this broadcast and subscribe now to ensure the growth of the entire LGBT